All right, guys, welcome back to our second installment of our video blog that we call PortCast, which again is like a podcast, but it's with the port. No one thinks it's clever, but I think it's clever. And this PortCast, we're going to focus on how at the port we try to encompass basically all aspects of health and fitness. And three major aspects that we have really tried to focus on recently. And in this PortCast, we'll talk about all three. We'll talk about the programming and workout aspect, which is my part. We'll talk about nutrition, and we'll have Katie on. And finally, we'll talk about prehab, rehab, body maintenance, and we'll have Jay on. He'll talk about port body work. So to start, I think that the most important thing that we do here is we get you to move. And my responsibility as head coach is I do all of your programming, which is a very tricky thing in the idea that I want you to not only move today, but I want you to move tomorrow, and I want you to be moving well in 5 years from now. So balancing volume and intensity with what body part is doing most of the moving from day to day is a very tricky thing. And a lot of the conversations that I have with members is how to balance your everyday life with coming to the gym 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week. We do most of our programming and fitness in classes, but at the port we also try to offer specialty courses and individualized programming that help you reach your goal. So I challenge you to come talk to a coach and express your goals and discuss how programming at the port can help you reach those goals, because CrossFit, as amazing as CrossFit is, handing it out to the masses, sometimes some things slip through the cracks. So working on things individually, whether that is in a specialty course or that is with a coach, is very, very important. So I think one of the most misunderstood things, not only with the port, but as CrossFit in general, is the goal of whether it's fundamentals or the on-ramp portion or whatever it is to get into class. Whereas the goal is fitness. The goal is to be healthy now and for the rest of your life. And a lot of times, a lot of gyms, not the port, we rush to class. And with the port, we spend a lot of time with individuals one-on-one. We look at weaknesses and we try to fix those weaknesses in the fundamental period, but we also sit down and talk about what's your goal? What is your major goal? 90% of the time, group class will help you reach your goal. Our programming at the port does a great job with using compound movements that are functional movements, multi-jointed, multi-muscular, to get you moving the way you should, so that when you leave the gym, you're really healthy, you move well, you're sleeping better, you're eating better. So 90% of the time, CrossFit group classes will help you reach your goal. But it's very important to express your goal. To say your goal out loud gives it a lot of power. And for some reason, if you don't feel like you're reaching your goal, talking to a coach and having a goal creating kind of session where you sit down and talk about that is a really important thing. I think that's one of those things that not a lot of our members take advantage of, where we are here for you and you have that built into your membership. It is something that you should do and sit down and put your goals down on paper. So the second aspect of health and fitness that we focus on here at the port is nutrition. And our nutrition program is run by Katie Kiley, who is here to discuss, what it is she does and how it plays a role in long-term health and fitness. And then I'm going to hit her with a few secret questions that she doesn't know exist yet. So Katie, what is it you do here at the port?
So I run the nutrition program here. So I do private one-on-one counseling with people. I meet in my office with them on a weekly basis or every other week or so. And my approach with clients is focused mostly on macronutrient intake. So I come up with how much food they should be eating to reach their goals. So we focus on carbs, proteins, and fats, and I teach them how to track their food, and then I set up goals for them every week and kind of hold them accountable to take kind of a nice sustainable approach to their nutrition.
So it's like a food therapy session.
Yeah, I mean, food is very tightly intertwined with a lot that goes on in your life, so it definitely turns into that.
So how does nutrition play a role in the everyday person's health and fitness journey?
Yeah, in my opinion, it might be biased, but I think it's kind of like the base of the pyramid as far as health and wellness. So I think, nutrition, if you have that in place, from there, training becomes better, recovery becomes better, you can be a better person, in my opinion, if you have that in line, health and longevity. So, I think it's like 80% of the picture, especially when it comes to body composition changes and then performance and recovery. It really, really plays a big role.
I feel like that's a really tough thing for people to accept.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people think their nutrition is like pretty good. If you ask like anybody, I feel like that's the answer. And a lot of people don't want to admit to or open up their mind to the fact that it could probably be a lot better, and a lot of people don't know how good they could feel if they did change just a couple things. I think a lot of people are kind of like going on cruise control. This is what they've always done. This is how they've always felt. But I think with some small tweaks for a lot of people, they could be feeling so much better, performing a lot better, recovering better, looking different, looking better. So, yeah.
I just remember when I started tracking for the first time like 2.5 years ago, what an eye-opening experience it was when it wasn't the meals that shocked me, it was like the snacking that I did in between the meals.
How it adds up. Yeah, for sure.
Going into that, what are the most common mistakes you see that people make in terms of nutrition?
So I think when I'm first meeting with a lot of people, I see a lot of undereating in general. So like chronic undereating for like months or even years, like eating far below what their bodies really need to sustain themselves. And especially for people that are CrossFitting, we need, a lot of fuel to perform and recover. So if you've been doing that for too long, a lot of things slow down in your body. So you're actually not really able to put muscle mass on. You can't really lean out. You're not performing to your full capacity. So undereating is a huge one. Skipping meals is a really big one. People kind of think, if I'm skipping meals, maybe that's better. And then it all kind of catches up to them either at the end of the day or at the end of the week when they kind of like go all out. So there's a lot of just up and down and inconsistency, where if we can get them eating really consistent on a daily basis, not skipping meals and eating more food. I bring a lot of people's intakes up and they're shocked at how much more food they can eat and how it changes how they're feeling and how they look. Then people will be feeling a lot better, a lot of people. So those are probably the two biggest ones I see.
Minus carbs.
Not eating enough or too much.
Too many carbs.
No such thing.
So Katie has been a member here for a little while now, so you've seen her probably downstairs. She's a tremendous athlete. If you had to build a Katie Kiley CrossFit workout, what would it include?
Ooh, that's good. Well, I can't copy one that I already love, which is Diane, so I'll tweak that. I love Diane. I love deadlifts. I have really long arms, so that helps. And I love handstand push-ups. And I do like overhead squats. So I'm going to go with a triplet and descending reps, because that's always fun. So we'll go 21, 15, 9, deadlifts, handstand push-ups, overhead squats.
Handstand push-ups and overhead squats.
I mean,
nice.
I like them.
So, your nutrition, is it perfect?
No,
do you have any vices?
Not. For sure. So I preach balance, so I'm definitely not perfect. I definitely enjoy some wine every now and then. Chips are probably my vice, like chips and guacamole.
Like tortilla chips, though. We're not talking like...
Oh, tortilla, like salty,
Doritos,
like agave
Cool
tortilla
nice.
chips would have to be my vice for sure. I don't do it too often, but yeah, no, I'm pretty balanced. I go out to eat a good amount, but I can make that work into kind of a healthy lifestyle for sure.
That's really nice to hear, because you, especially when people in this kind of business, they feel like they have to wipe out all the bad.
Yeah, no.
I think it's too much at once.
Yeah, definitely.
So if there is someone that's interested in maybe coming to talk to you, what's the process?
Yeah, so everyone here is welcome to a free intro session. So we sit down and go over, their goals, where they're coming from, all that. No obligation, so just kind of learn about the program. So if you're interested, you can email me. and just set up a time. My email is on the website, on the nutrition website.
And Lanson's going to put it right here on the bottom of the screen for you.
Shoot me
so
an
when
email.
you need to email her, it's readily available.
Or grab me in class, either way.
That's it. Justin and Katie out.
Cool.
Back here with our third aspect of fitness that we provide here at the Port. Sitting here with Jay, who runs our prehab rehab program that we call Port Bodywork, found on the second floor, already second location.
That's right.
Jay, welcome.
Justin, thank you for having me.
All right. What is it you do here at the Port?
Body work, as you said, prehab rehab is working with both healthy people who are just sore in response to like a high frequency of high intensity exercises, which I think 90% of the members are training at like such a high athletic level. So maintaining their fitness, their mobility, trying to keep them strain and injury free, and make them feel good, prevent injury, and then like you said, rehab anybody who's feeling some pain, any issues anywhere during the workouts, trying to prevent it from coming something that would take them out of the game for a while.
In this PortCast, we've been talking about how your journey in health and fitness require, many different aspects of focus. And we started with programming, which I talked about as the head coach. We had Katie on before you. We talked about nutrition. How does prehab rehab play a role in someone's health and fitness journey?
Great call. I think, again, injury prevention and maintenance of the blood flow and pliability of muscles. I know pliability is kind of a new word thrown around by Tom Brady's trainer, Alex Guerrero. And flexibility, mobility, and full range of motion, as we talked about, is so important to do all the moves and not get injured. So just exercising, not taking the mobility work too seriously is going to make your muscles tighten up over the long term. And we want longevity here. So as your muscles tighten, blood flow gets compromised, you get less pliable, you get more prone to develop impingement or a muscle strain or overuse syndrome. So allowing full relaxation and length of muscles with optimal distribution of blood flow throughout the whole muscle fiber increases performance, makes you feel better and less prone to injury. I think that's really the essence of manual therapy, massage therapy, deep tissue therapy, massage, myofascial release, body work, or whatever Tom Brady's trainer likes to call it these days. I think that's all kind of lumped under the body work prehab rehab of just maintaining the right muscle balance to stay feeling
And body
good
work
while
encompasses
crushing.
all of that.
I think it does. I
Yeah.
hope it does, right?
So it's
Rehab,
not just
rehab.
massage, it's all
Yeah.
pieces of
Right, like some range of motion, checking out, all right, external's good, internal's good, muscles are good, capsule's good, shake around, make
Muscles
sure.
are good.
Muscles are very, very good.
muscles are good.
Seeing how your joint moves, addressing any issues that could predispose you to injury, identifying that, and being aware of what extra mobility work you might want to focus on and sink into a bit deeper during that mobility section of the workouts that we
Our
do.
workouts, nice. So you mentioned, that's a mistake people make commonly, to kind of check out during those mobility sessions that we do down there.
Totally, I did the other day. I was talking to Nick. I didn't know he surfed. Yeah, he got me going, and
He's
then
such a distractor.
I realized everybody was doing something different, and I just had my elbow on the wall, and I was talking to him and not actually stretching.
So from the master, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Any other mistakes people commonly make? Because I know myself, I do a good job warming up. I do a good job focusing on what I have been told to focus on in my warm-ups. I work out really hard, and then I put pants on, and I take the dogs for a walk. I do a very, very bad job cooling down.
I think it's just paying attention to what in your body tightens up or aches or spasms or just feels pinchy in response to all the high intensity exercise that you inflict upon it.
Cool.
So for you said hips, right? After the workout, it's all right, my hips are tight, but I'm going to walk my dogs and not pay attention to the boring the handful of hip openers that
I
you could
could
be
do.
doing just
Totally.
to maintain.
I know. Been a part of the gym for a little while now. Are you enjoying your CrossFit classes?
I'm loving it.
Do you
I'm
have
loving
a
it.
favorite CrossFit movement yet?
I love the squat movement. so functional, and then CrossFit, they have us resist the squat in so many different ways, pulling from different positions, and then adding the squat into complexes.
In terms of your health and fitness, do you have a vice as you take a sip of branched chain amino acids? Right, that's what's in that cup?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take that as beer or drinking in general. Is your one vice?
You bet. Drug of choice.
So someone who's watching this is interested in coming to see you. They have a nagging knee injury or my shoulder hurts a little bit. What's the process?
Go on to the website and purchase a session of body work that just...
He's such a good editor, too. He can put, like, the email address
he's going to...
or the website
Right there.
right there.
Yeah, you go there and then check it out.
So they buy...
Body work.
Is there a consultation first? You sit down with them, talk about, or do they need to go and schedule something right away?
It's a schedule right away. If you know me, you talk to me during the workout so we can multitask a little bit and just give me like a 5-minute preview of this hurts, I'm going to see about this.
That's great.
That can happen sometimes. If not, if I meet you fresh, like you say, Jay, I'm going to schedule you for an hour on Saturday. You already signed up on Wodify. First, purchase the hour, and then you look at the calendar, and then you book the hour-long session, whatever works for you. The time slots are still subject to change over the next few weeks.
Here with Jay, I'm Justin. Port Body Work. Get in touch. We're out.